If you want good health, nature's law obey. All our precepts heed, never from them stray. Harmful habits shun, do not push yourself. When too tired, you may find twill put you on the shelf. So, health for you, health for me, health for all mankind. Healing for the halt and lame and visions for the blind. Health for you and health for me, health for all mankind. This our goal, a body whole, in spirit, flesh, and mind. Health for you, health for me, health for all mankind. Healing for the halt and lame, and visions for the blind. Health for you and health for me, health for all mankind. This our goal, a body whole, in spirit, flesh, and mind. Hola, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? It's Auntie Pauline, and it's time for devotion online. But this morning, I'm going to omit the devotion. We can talk to God in our own little way. I'm going to omit the devotion, and I'm going to talk to you on a sensitive matter. And when I say sensitive, it can cause serious harm to your body. It can even cause death. It can cause cause it to go crazy. And some time ago, I did a video, and you can go back through my videos and you see where I said I'm living with a dangerous disease or a wicked disease of my such. And persons were wondering, what disease am I living with? When I relate the disease, I wasn't the person who actually have the disease, but when I said I'm living with it, my mother has the Alzheimer's, and we all have to deal with her for the rest of our life. For the rest of her life, So that's why I include myself in it, because we have to deal with it, right? Because it's not a easy disease, and it that will drive you crazy. It can cause you to lose your mind and all those things. But this morning, the disease that I am living with, I personally is living with this disease, and it's not an easy one. It's not easily handled, and sometimes you see me come up on here and I might laughing and happy and everything, but then old people always say, I know every kinky laugh, and they have one next phrase where they say, dog a sweat but long hair cover it. If you know what that means, we are going through some issues, and sometimes you not even want to talk about it, because deep down inside you're hurting, you're aching, you're healing. But let me tell you something. Why I come out and I'm gonna talk about this disease, because as women we all have to go through this phase sometime or the other in our lives. And this is a common one, but it is a stressful one, it's a dangerous one. It's this one can cause you to go insane. It can land you up in the hospital. It can confuse you. It can, a lot of things can happen. It can stress you. It can lead you to depression. And when you go through depression, all kind of things come up in your mind. Some people don't take it lightly or take it well. They commit suicide. And this disease is menopause. You might say, oh, sure. But let me tell you something. You see, if you don't know, I'm going to tell you in a plain pattern. If you are not aware, just like me, I heard about menopause. I did not study on it until it reached me. I heard about it, but I did not know that menopause can really do somebody like that, right? And let me tell you something. It's not easy. When I say it can confuse you, up to the very doctors them, it confuse sometimes because doctor treat you for certain things, and at the same time, the main thing what them treat you for, them not pick up say a hit because it happened to me. It happened to me, and many persons. And why I really come out and saying this, because each day is a new experience, and each day I talk to persons, and persons have experienced different type of experience about this thing, and some of them don't know what it is. But let me tell you something, man. It's menopause. Menopause can do a lot of harm. It can do a lot of harm, and it send a lot of women in hospital, send a lot of women to the doctor. He sent me to the doctor. Yes, because I started to get panic and frightened, wondering what is taking place in my body and stuff like those. Listen, my man, up to the doctor, I'm confused because guess what? Doctor signed me up, write me up to do surgery. We go do surgery. But me tell you say you see God, don't underestimate God. Don't underestimate the power of God. Don't underestimate God. And whatever situation you're going through, put it in the hands of God. Talk to God about it. He is a healer. He's a great physician. He is a problem solver, and he's everything. So what doctor cannot do, God, nothing is impossible for Jesus to do. Yes. So put it in the hands of God, because I reach a stage where I have to fly go a doctor because I couldn't understand, and the doctor make me get cold, and he go make me know say it can be cancer. With the problem that I was having, it can be cancer, right? And then they make me start fret. Cancer. But thank God for my children. One of them said, "Mommy, don't worry yourself, I'm not afraid. You don't have no cancer. You don't have no cancer." You know? Doctor signed me up to go do surgery. Signed me up to go do surgery. But it begins when I went to the doctor and I have a irregular period. And all of this come with the menopause. Irregular period. Menstruation. And this irregular menstruation, it never pretty. I don't want easy something. It make you come like as you want mad. You want go crazy because guess what you see? Your back, your belly bottom, and what you they pass out. I know nothing easy. Me not going to pretty up nothing now. Because young persons on this who watch my video, you need to know and know what to expect. Moreover, some persons, I agree that they have different symptoms, but most of the symptoms, they are the same. But persons come with different symptoms and different, but I'm telling you what to expect because I've gone through it and I'm still going through it. Right now, if you see me just wipe my face, I eat a command. Eat a command. You see the hot flash, I know I easy something. See? It come with a feeling. I'm going to tell you about it. But let me tell you the part where I end up with doctor. And the doctor was really go to see. He wasn't in the office that day. But they say, alright, let me deal with who I see. In order for them to examine me, for the doctor to examine me, the bleeding will have to stop. So he give me some tablets. Prescription, so everything and money. See? This is what is happening. Good morning. And only come with this sweat, you feel, I come in my body when the hot flash is coming on, and then you go and push out the heat in my face. And when you push out the heat in my face, that's when I start to sweat. I have 2-3 rags in my bag a day. Wet like how. You understand? So he give me like 5 days to come back after I take the pills. The pill never help, but me go back. Because he said, if you come back, me go back and me tell him say no stop. So he say, alright, he going give me some more. Give me some more. Me go back, he still not stop. When me go back now, after he not stop, he say, alright. To me, it's like he don't know what, so he can't handle it. He say, I'm going to turn me over to the bigger boss, that are the head doctor. Luckily, he was in office that day, and that's the one I wanted to see. He sent me straight to him. Me go to him and explain what is happening. Him now give me a different medication to ease the bleeding so he can examine me. Went home, took it, it worked. Go back, he examined me. And he said, I don't like what I'm seeing. Don't like what, and him tell me now that it can be cancerous. It can be cancer. And he started to tell me, say, something like poly, what you call it. And me have to go do surgery. And I know big surgery still. I've done one before. Him say man do it. He said me have to go do surgery. I said, alright. No, my little health card, carry so much money. He took it and he said go check it out to see how much me have to go pay with the surgery out of my pocket. He come back and he say it can work. I have to go pay out of my pocket. So what he did, he give me some blood work to go do, and he then set up the surgery. If you know everything alright to do the surgery. Went to do the blood test them and went home, waiting on the time by himself to come back. I went back. I not get the date yet, but I went back. After I went back, I fret and I was praying, and after him look at the blood work that come back and whatever, and he look at the docket and he look at the docket and he look at me and look back at the docket and he say, what is your name? My name the right in front of him, Right now I'm confused. Because what he signed me up for, him not see nothing like that in the result, them and whatever. He say, what is your name? And me tell him my name. He says, there's another person here named something. I say, I wouldn't know. I don't know. Because to him, a wrong docket him have in front of him. And on a wrong docket after me docket. But at that him thing, a wrong docket, because what he went tell me say, him not see nothing like that. You understand? Me tell us that God is so good. God is so good. So after him start question me, here man go ask me, when you do surgery? He say, I haven't done any surgery. Because the man still can't believe. Because nothing what he tell me from day one say happen to me. Nothing like that. After me do all the tests and whatever and he get back result and he come back to read the result and say, nothing like that. He said to me, say, alright, me go examine you. And he examined me. And when he examined me, he not see nothing. He not see nothing. So all he do a pap smear and say, me if you go and get it done. Bring it to the lab and come back to him when we get back the result. Result was about a month or 6 weeks. That I did. But as I leave his office and I reach home, I got a call. It was a receptionist from the office. And she said, my out of pocket is $40,000 and the surgery is scheduled for XY. And I was, what are you talking about? He said, no, you name so and so. I said, yes. So she said, is the surgery? She's setting up the date for the surgery. I said, what surgery? I've just left the office and I'm not doing any surgery. He said, wait, hold on a minute, I'll call you back. And until this very day, me not get no call back. Until this day, me not get no call back. And when me get the result and bring it back to him, because I look at the result before and I see it was good. But I bring it back to him to hear what he has to say. And when he look at the result, he said to me, okay, you're good to go. Just keep doing your yearly pap smear. You're good to go. That's it. Me said that's something in your menopause. It can confuse you. It can twist up your head and it make doctor give you wrong thing. Because at the menopause when I finish, at the period was finishing, a menopause take over my body. And it causes different changes in my body. And many persons who I talk to, they are experiencing the same thing right now in going up in that age group. They run up and down a doctor. And the same thing that I was experiencing, that's what they are experiencing right now. Right now. I have to tell some persons, I said, no, worry yourself, man, just go through it. Go through it, no, make no doctor go to know. Go through it. You understand? Because that's how it works. That's how it works. Right? So it's gone completely, but the menopause period now with the hot flash and the, man, trust me, it no nice. It no nice. It no nice. It's like a fire build up in your body. And you see, if you come on straight, it'll drive no for it crazy. No for it that mad. But God is so good in and give more we can be here. God is so wonderful. It come like ning pain when you're taking care of baby. And the pain come on and then it wear off. As so irritates me. And the pain we go through is a feeling where it feel like you want to pass out. It make you feel nauseous. And also like you want to pass out and you feel dizzy and then something there. So, but after that come up, after that feeling wear off, you're good to go again. Right? You're good to go again. So when it come up, after it push out that heat in your face and then you started to sweat, yeah, sooner or later it wear off. It wear off. But let me tell you something. It can take many years, 14 years. So we live by. So we have to bear. So one might be wondering, what is menopause? I'm not a medical doctor, as I said. I don't know anything about medicine. But menopause here is telling me. The definition of menopause says menopause is a time in a woman's life when menstrual periods permanently stop. It is also called change of life. Some more time we say, but I may go through change of life. Yes, that's menopause. And menopause is defined as a time, when there has been no menstrual periods for 12 consecutive months and no other biological or psychological cause can be identified. It is the end of fertility. It is the end of childbearing. Yes, man. So, I don't want to have sex and no one take no precaution. Yeah, it's your time now, but mark you. Let me tell you something what some persons might not know. Women can get pregnant during that time because guess what? The period will stop all entirely. And a half. During that time, you still can get pregnant. Because I've heard of persons getting pregnant 50, 51 year old. Yeah? And them think they may safe from are free from that. No. So be careful. Ensure that you have gone through this stage. Right. So as I said before, that some people experience night sweats and cold flashes or chills in addition to or instead of flat hot flashes. I experience the hot flashes. I don't know about the cold one, but I'm experiencing the hot one. Hot flashes are not a nice thing. And hot flashes usually occur in the first year after menstruation ends, but they can continue up to 14 years after menopause. Mm-hmm. So, me have if it do. Me have if it do. Because a few years now, me they go through it. And me tell you say it's not pretty. The first time I experienced hot flash, I didn't know what it is. And I did not know because I was still menstruating. And I did not know that it was hot flashes. My daughter was coming my ear in the night. And it was like in the middle of the night, 10 o'clock, when time going to 11 o'clock. And while I was sitting there, I feel something, man, it come like I want to run mad. Me say, let me go, let me go, let me go. And she say, our mommy, me say, let me go, turn on the fan. That time, no fan can cool you because the heat that is coming, the fan no have no use for you. Because it coming from out of my body and me say, me have to fly the door and me have to run out the door. Me couldn't understand. And when me out the door, me still there for me, and so me mark time, and so me walk and then mark time, they mark time. And so me walk up and down like me crazy. Yeah. So me walk up and down like me crazy. I tell you something, man. It is a dangerous thing. If you don't know what you're doing, it mad you. It can disturb your sleep. Sleep problems can arise during menopause and they can stem from anxiety and night sweats and stuff there. Right? You will feel tired and you easily get irritable. Hey, that's it can mad you. Can mad you. A lot of signs. Just check it out. Go in and Google and check out it. Because you have emotional changes, as me said before, can cause depression. It can cause depression, as I said before. Yeah, anxiety and low mood. Those are common during menopause. It is not unusual to experience times of irritability and crying spells. Hormone changes and sleep disturbance can contribute to these issues. Right? So, right? So, the first sign that menopause is approaching is usually periods occurring less regular. So, look out for those signs. Look out for those signs. Period is coming less regular. Yeah, it's a sign that um, menopause is approaching, and they may come more or less frequently than usual, and they may be heavier or lighter. Right? So I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna allow you to do some research on your own. Do some research on your own because this cause, so this cause was when I wife mash up though. Because they say during that time the vagina become dry and it's very uncomfortable having in sexual intercourse. And the husband can understand. Sometimes they say the wife they cheat on him. That's why you don't have sex with you, but you need to understand. Men, you need to look up it too. You need to get educated in this thing too. Because it's not always the case. It's not always the case. I spoke with a lady one time. Sorry. And she said, she called the husband name because as somebody want me know. But me not going to call her name. She said, say, understand, and that she sounds so depressed. Understand, this dryness. I mean, not feel like sex. I even 19 want to have sex, and they cause contention. So the woman tell me, men, you need to understand. You need to get yourself educated. You need to get yourself educated. Understand the lady. Understand the woman. And those are the times when women need you most in their lives, to comfort them, to help them to go through that which they are going through. hmm You can help them get moist. Do what you need to do, right? And not rush them. Thank God me don't have nobody to rush me. I am free, single, and it's engaged. And a good thing, because I know everybody will go cope with me, because the way how me feel when time that thing is happening, I know everybody will go cope with me, right? So it makes sense to stay alone and bear me burden by myself, right? Bear me burden by myself. But me tell you, say, those who are married or who are living with their spouses, you have to be aware of this. It's for real, and we are going up in age. See my silver them here. Mm-hmm. And you need to understand and cooperate with each other. All right. So, Auntie Pauline is saying, have yourself a wonderful day. As usual, I'm out on the road because office is not yet open. So, I'm wasting no time, just using up some time here. All right. So, let's hope you learn something, and don't keep it to yourself. Share it, because I know others who are going through the same issues, and women on a whole, you need to share it with both men and women, so that the men, they too can understand, because they go through their thing too. I heard they call it andropause, but they go through their thing too, right? So both of them can work out their salvation together, work out it. And the Bible says, I wish above all that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospereth. So let us be in good health, eat the good food, get the things that we need to get. Grains, ease up after the meat, and get the grains and the nuts and the fruits and the vegetables, and get those things so we can get the right substance in our body to deal with this thing. All right? It's a thing that we have to go through. So let us eat the good food, man, so that we can go through. All right? Auntie Pauline saying goodbye. If you can't be good, be careful. Have a wonderful day. Remember to like my video, share my video, and if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my video. If you have already subscribed, you don't have no need to touch the subscribe button again. Just let it remain. All you have to do is comment, share, and like. All right. Until